Okay, so the final session of vectors. So I'm starting with the discussion of question number 20 from exercise 1. A couple of students have asked this, and even though I think we've discussed most of exercise 1, but if anything is pending, let's finish that. So this says that the resultant of the following pairs of forces cannot be 4 newtons. Okay, so we can say this question is saying like this, that magnitude of A plus B cannot be 4 newtons for which of the following. So option A says that magnitude of the first force is 2 newtons and magnitude of the second force is also 2 newtons. So here you can see that since the angle between A and B is not specified, that means it can be anything between 4 and 0. So yes, it can be 4. So that's okay. So this is not the correct answer because it's asking cannot be. So we will not select this option. Okay, so remember here we are using triangle inequality, that mod of A plus B is less than equal to the sum of their magnitudes and greater than equal to the difference of their magnitudes. Now remember, when you write difference of magnitudes, it's always a modulus quantity. It cannot be a negative quantity. So that also becomes important in this question. So anyway, so the B option says that A and B are, how much is it? 2 and 4. Okay. So if that is the case, then mod of A plus B can be less than equal to 6 and greater than equal to 2. So this is also fine. Can be 4. Okay. So this one's answer is also yes, it can be. Then the next one says that the pair of values are 2 and 6. So they are 2 and 6, you can see. Then also it is possible because the difference is exactly 4. So it can be 4. It cannot be less than 4, but and the sum is of course 8. So here also the answer is yes. Okay. It can be 4. Yeah, I'm coming to 21 also. Okay. And finally, the option D says that the magnitudes of A and B are, this must be the correct one, 2 and 8. Okay, so magnitude of A is 2, magnitude of B is 8. So here you can see that when we apply the concept that mod A plus B should be greater than equal to the difference of their magnitudes and less than equal to the sum of their magnitudes. So here you can see that what we get is that magnitude of A plus B cannot become 4 because उसका minimum value कितना हो रहा है, 2 and 8 का difference which is 6 maximum. It cannot be 4. So as per what the question has asked over here, the correct answer should become the option D. Okay. Because the question is asking which of them cannot be. It's not asking which of them can be. So to be careful about the language of the question, and that's what it means over here. Okay. So that's question 21. Let's come to that's question 20. Let's also check out the answer of 21 since a couple of students are probably not getting the correct answer. Okay. So for whatever reason, some people again. Okay, we'll just hold our patience, Asmi, don't worry. Okay. We'll find time for everybody's doubts. Let's just do it as an exercise in practice of just doing some numerical problems. Okay. After all, even I need to practice from time to time. Make sure my math skills are okay. So anyway, it's saying that vector E is this one, I plus 2j plus 2k. Okay. And that's all right. Thanks, Asmi. That's no problem. So I'm not sure if somebody is making a mistake in the numerical solving of it or whatever. So just we'll verify it. Okay. So find the projection of B on A. So we have to find B parallel. We have to find if this is the vector B and this is the vector E, then we have to find this. Okay. Find this. This is B's parallel component. Okay. So as we know, we've gone through this many times, but this is a slightly tricky thing. So let's discuss the whole thing. So B parallel as a vector will have a magnitude of B cos theta and its direction will be along A. So it is A. Okay, so B cos theta we'll get by doing B dot A divided by mod A, or A dot B divided by mod B, whatever. So that is becoming, as you can see, 2 plus 2 plus 4. Okay, and mod B is becoming square root of 4 plus 1 plus 4. So that is becoming 8 by 3. Okay, and A cap is nothing but vector A divided by its magnitude. Okay. So A cap is nothing but I plus 2j plus 2k, okay, divided by its magnitude, which is again 1 plus 4 plus 4. So this thing above is also, I mean, if you write it properly, it is magnitude of E. So it is square root of 1 square plus 2 square plus 2 square. Anyway, it will come out to be the same. So 8 by, sorry, it is 1 by 3. So this unit vector itself, this becomes this one. So unit vector. So this unit vector becomes I plus 2j plus 2k divided by 3. So therefore, B's parallel component here should become the product of these two things, B cos theta and A cap. So that will become 8 by 3, that was B cos theta, and this is I plus 2j plus 2k divided by 3. So this is 8 by 9 times I cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap. So this should be the correct answer. Let me just verify. If not, we'll have to make a change in the answer key or whatever. Okay, so 21, the correct answer appears to be option B, right? And it is given as A, is it? No, it is A. Sorry, it is A. It is A only. So sahi to hai. It is option E. Is that given at the back? Okay, good. All right, so I think that sorts out exercise 1, right? Okay, let's come to exercise 2. So people have asked me question number 2 already, okay, from exercise 2. I've got doubts for question 2, 3. So far only this. Okay. So I'm then starting with question number 2 in exercise 2. Okay, also question number 1. Okay, let's do. Right, so I'm starting with exercise 2 now. So we're starting with question 1 of exercise 2. Okay. So far from what people have asked me, I'm going to do from exercise 2 question 1, 2, okay, 3, 5. These are the questions I have, excuse me, been asked so far. Yeah. Okay, so question 1 is little bit tricky type of question because you have to be careful about what the question is asking. Let me find the question this one. So question 1, why it is little strange is that perpendicular component जो निकालना है उसका unit vector has to be very correct. Okay, so again it has to do with this only. But the question is, the answer is given in a bit of a tricky form. E is given as 3 I cap plus 4 j cap. अगर answer numerically पूछा होता, then there's no problem at all. You all know how to find it. But because it is asked in that, you know, half numerical, half conceptual sort of way, so you have to find. So the component of A along B, ये निकालना है अपने को. So let's say that is A parallel, and we have to also find the component of A perpendicular to B. Now, these are the two things that have been asked. The component of A perpendicular to B. So let's say that is this one. So we all know that, okay, this one is A cos theta B cap, and this one is how much? It is A minus A parallel. But the problem is also that this has been also asked like that, that this has, okay, so now we understand one thing, that E perpendicular का magnitude कितना होगा? Its magnitude will be A sin theta. Okay. So in other words, we can also say that E perpendicular, which is equal to A minus A parallel as a vector. Okay. Now that one is also equal to the magnitude A sin theta into some unit vector, let's say m cap. Okay. So this can also be expressed like this, that this is, so we can say over here that the parallel component is E cos theta into some unit vector, let's say n cap, where what is that unit vector? It is nothing but B cap. It is the unit vector of B. But on the other hand, E perpendicular is E sin theta into some unit vector m cap. Now the question is, what is that unit vector m cap? So directly we can't say what it is. The only thing we can say is that over here we can say that m cap is perpendicular to n cap. But then it's not a unique relationship. No? Perpendicular to कोई भी unit vector हो सकता है. So we have to actually check. Okay. Or we can say, so what we will do here is we will first find E parallel. So E parallel मेरा क्या है? It is E cos theta B cap. So that is nothing but E dot B divided by mod B, okay, into B cap, which is vector B divided by mod B. So let's actually calculate this thing, how much this is. Okay, so let's go back up and see the values. Okay, so from here you can see the values are such that E dot B is becoming how much? It is becoming 7, isn't it? And mod B is root 2, and this thing is I cap plus J cap by root 2. Now you might ask me, मुझे इसकी ज़रूरत ही क्या है? Because I have been asked just in this conceptual form. So I can directly say that no, it is A cos theta into this unit vector. But the thing is, I also need to find out this. I need to find out the perpendicular component. That's why I'm working it out numerically first. Okay, so this is 7 by 2 into I cap plus J cap. Okay, or I can say that it is E cos theta into that unit vector, which is nothing but I cap plus J cap by root. Okay. So it's as good as saying this thing is as good as this. Okay. So now one of the options you would say will match this. So which option is matching this? That the component of A along B. So option A is matching. So we can see immediately from this that option A is matching, whereas option C is wrong. Okay, so we have ruled out one option and we have ruled in one option. Now we have to check the other two options, okay, because we've got this thing. Okay, so just making this solution easier for you to understand later. So here we can say that A parallel component is this, or we can say A's parallel component. Conceptually, it becomes this thing. It is this magnitude into, so the magnitude I'm leaving in conceptual form, A cos theta, without the numerical value, which is 7 by 2. But this I'm leaving in numerical form, the unit vector B cap. Okay. Now what we have to do similarly, we have to find A perpendicular. So A perpendicular के लिए मैं next चीज क्या करूँगा यहाँ पे? I will first find out E perpendicular as a vector properly. Okay, so that is nothing but E vector minus E parallel. So that is nothing but 3 I cap plus 4 J cap, that was vector E, minus this one which we just found out. So this is 7 by 2 I cap plus 7 by 2 J cap. So as a vector, now see why I am calculating it numerically, because I need to find out the proper unit vector. So this is 3 minus 3.5, so that will become minus half, plus 4 minus 3.5, वो कितना हो जाएगा? Half. So you can see that this is minus 1 by 2 I cap plus 1 by 2 J cap. Okay. So this is nothing but I cap with a minus sign plus J cap with a positive sign divided by 2. The whole thing divided by 2. So this is my A perpendicular vector. Okay. So now, given the options, I can also see that I can write A perpendicular as some magnitude, which is nothing but A sin theta, multiplied with some unit vector. Okay, now this is the thing, I needed to find out what this unit vector is. So ये unit vector actually क्या है? इसका ही unit vector ना. So m cap is nothing but A perpendicular vector divided by its own magnitude. So कितना हो रहा है? It is minus I cap plus J cap by 2 whole thing divided by its own bond. So minus I cap plus J cap by 2. So it is nothing but minus I cap plus J cap by 2 divided by square root of 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. So that is root 2. Okay. So it is minus I cap plus J cap into ये क्या हो जाएगा, half into root 2 हो जाएगा. This root 2 will go up over here. So we can write this as, actually let's do all the steps. So this divided by 1 by root 2. So that is root 2 by 2 into minus I cap plus J cap. So that unit vector is becoming minus I cap plus J cap 1 by root 2 times. Okay. So this is the unit vector of A perpendicular. Okay. So therefore we can say that okay, A perpendicular is which one? It is A sine theta in magnitude. But what about its direction? Its direction is this unit vector, minus I cap plus J cap by root. Now this is a very interesting question because this question also gives us an opportunity of doing this in a different way, and I will discuss that also next. Okay. But first you write down this method, which is a proper method of solving it. So doing this now, it gives us that okay, which option is correct? It tells us that option D is correct, and therefore which option is wrong? Option B is wrong. So please ask me if there is any doubt in this, okay, the way I've solved it. Please ask me if there is any doubt in the method which I've used of solving it. So this is like an extra tricky question because आपको magnitude A sin theta A cos theta के form में पूछा है, whereas direction किसके form में पूछा है? Direction very strangely proper unit vector के form में पूछा है. मतलब you have to actually numerically calculate. It's like half the thing you have to give in conceptual form, half the thing in numerical form. That's what makes the question a bit tricky. Yeah, Dhruv, you have any doubt? Just ask me. So I'll just leave you with a second for going through this solution. Just see all the steps carefully first. So मैंने क्या किया, पहले मैंने A parallel और A perpendicular दोनों को numerically calculate कर लिया. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Now, how many students? This question and all aside, can you just send me a message or raise your hands and tell me how many students are from Orange House over here for the non-integrated batch? Likit, is there anybody else? Okay. Now, Likit, did you by chance attend yesterday's lecture in Orange House yesterday morning? Okay, no problem. Likit, you just do one thing, beta. Just attend the lecture, and after the lecture, I will talk to you one separately. Okay, how to catch up. But I can tell you something: you will not have difficulty in today's lecture. Okay, because this thing we have covered in Orange House. It's just that these questions you might not have tried yet. Okay, so. So basically, Red House is ahead from Orange House, Likit, only in the sense that they have been doing these exercises for the last couple of weeks. Okay, you have yet to finish your assignments and then come to the exercises. And also a little bit of discussion about cross product. So I will do that with you very later. Okay, but up to dot product and projections, you are up to date with concept. Okay, so you can understand these questions. Alright, so coming back to this question, what I have done is I have first found out. So basically, मैंने क्या किया है कि यहाँ पे suppose the vectors A and B are like this. This is A, this is B. First, I have gone ahead and found out what this vector is, this perpendicular parallel component and this perpendicular component. I found out how much they are. So this parallel component and this perpendicular component. So I have found them numerically. Okay, so here I found out the parallel component numerically, and here I found out the perpendicular component numerically. Then I've said that okay, the parallel component, it is also having a magnitude of a cos theta. So it is a cos theta into some unit vector. Okay, let's say n cap, and that n cap is nothing but actually b cap. Okay, so that is how I'm writing this as this. It is a cos theta into some unit vector, and that unit vector is nothing but b's unit vector. So that's this. But at the same time, now a perpendicular also, उसका magnitude क्या है? उसका magnitude a sin theta है, but उसका unit vector क्या है? Its unit vector is something else. So what was this unit vector going to be? How will I find it out? Because I have found out a perpendicular as a vector, so I know how to find out its unit vector. It is a sin theta into some unit vector. But what is that unit vector? That unit vector is nothing but a perpendicular divided by its own magnitude. So its unit vector I'm separately calculating, and this is how. Okay. So finally, that's how I'm getting the answer, that a perpendicular should be its magnitude, which is a sin theta, into the correct unit vector. And what is the correct unit vector? Is this one. Okay, now the very interesting thing about this question is, so people hope this solution was clear to all of you. Do I need to repeat any part of the solution? Anyone? Yes, so I'm hoping everything is clear. Okay, good. Now, because of one peculiar reason, there's another way of doing this question. Okay, so that is like this, that more both vectors given, vectors A and B given in the question, are in the two-dimensional xy plane. Okay, which means that we can also analyze them. Don't worry, I will help you out. Okay, the whatever part you missed now, orange house, I'll help you out. Don't worry. Okay, but this part you will understand fully because it is based on concept you have already learned. So don't worry. Okay. So we can also analyze by drawing vectors, by drawing the vectors A and B geometrically. अगर ये 3-dimensional होते हैं, then that would not have been possible. Okay, but because they've given us the vector E is 3i cap plus 4j cap, so that means it is a vector of magnitude 5 and at what angle? 37 degrees to x-axis. Tan inverse, 53 degrees to x-axis. My mistake. It is at 53 degrees to the x-axis. Okay. Whereas the vector B given was I cap plus j cap. Correct. So that means it is of magnitude root 2 at 45 degrees to x-axis. That we can just analyze the components. So that means that there is also this thing that we can do. We can actually now sit and draw these vectors in the xy plane. In fact, both of them are in the first quadrant, so that makes life even easier. Okay, so in this, the easier vector to draw will be the one which is B. So let us say B is this one because it's at 45 degrees, so it's very easy to draw it. So B का magnitude root 2 है और direction ऐसा है. It's exactly at 45. It's along the diagonal of the square boxes. So let us say this is the vector B and this angle is 45. And this, where is the vector E line? The vector E and its magnitude is root 2. The vector E is at 53 degrees. Okay, because it was 3 I cap plus 4 j cap, and it's a bit longer. So the vector E is actually something like this. So vector E is like this, where this angle is now how much? It is 53 degrees, and this is 5 in magnitude. So there's no need to do anything else now. What we can just understand is that in this diagram, this is the axis of B. So I'll just draw it as, and this is the axis perpendicular to B. So I'll just draw these as guidelines in just a moment. So this is an axis which I'm drawing, which is the so-called perpendicular to B in the plane of A and B. This is that axis. And this is the one which is along B in the plane of A. Okay. So now, जब मैं A से, if I draw perpendiculars, how will that look now? This will be the parallel component, and this will become the perpendicular component. And this should be the angle theta actually. So we can even see the angle theta between them is in fact 53 minus 45. It is a very interesting angle of 8 degrees. Not chota sa angle actually. My diagram is not very accurate. A should be actually much closer to B. 8 degrees is a very small angle. So actually if B is like this, then A should be very close to it. It should be something like this. 8 degrees is a comparatively small angle. But anyway, just for the purpose of demonstration, I'm showing.